You know, it's easy to forget, but Halloween 2020 was actually a pretty good holiday, and while it's not quite the reinvigoration I always say Halloween needs, it was still a really, just fun day to celebrate one of my all-time favorite holidays. How we doing, everybody? This is Bobby Gaines here, just chilling this October day. Nice weather out, very autumnish. Got my autumn tablecloth on, a couple Halloween decorations here and there. And of course I am talking about Halloween, the obligatory mentioning of Halloween for 2021. Which of course comes after the mentioning of Christmas for 2021, because that's just how my priorities have been these past many years. So this shouldn't be a surprise, but something new that I've started to do in the last, 3, 4, 5 years is talk about the Halloween that was and then kind of preview the one that's to come. So let's get that out of the way first. Halloween 2020, as I mentioned, was just a really cool holiday. It just kind of came about. A lot of years, there's always this thing with Halloween where it's competing with Christmas, and as far as my attention, it's a competition it's never going to win, quite frankly. And what ends up happening is Halloween kind of gets swept under the rug. The last week of October I try to do a couple things, but it just never turns out that same way as when I was a kid and I really loved Halloween. And you could say the same for last year. I mean, it wasn't, the most spectacular Halloween ever, but it was also pretty good. The actual day of Halloween, I did a live stream dressed as Crash Bandicoot, which was influenced by the October release of Crash 4. So that was a case of, I didn't really have a direction for a costume. Spoilers, I don't really have one for this year either. So, it kind of just was dictated. That's just how it went. And that's not the first time that's happened. Halloween 2013 was literally, celebrating the 2013 Red Sox with my costume that year. There have been other years here and there, 2019, referencing the 20-year anniversary of Halloween 2019, or 99. There have been years like that where Halloween will kind of just mimic whatever's happening in the year. There are other times it's a little more significant, like Halloween 2015 and the now infamous Venom costume, and there's been some other ones, but last year did have some meaning to it because I loved Crash 4, I love Crash Bandicoot, so I was like, screw it. It's a really silly, fun costume, and anyone who knows me knows that I don't really get into the horror aspect of Halloween. Like, people always want me to play Resident Evil games and watch horror movies, and I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's fun. It's like, it's Halloween, so I guess I gotta be scary now. Well, not necessarily. Much like any other holiday, I make Halloween my own. And I've designed a new logo for it, which, yes, has a little horror element to it, although not really. And it also has that traditional Bobby Gaines cartoonishness to it, because at the end of the day, that's who I am. Whether it's Christmas, Easter, Halloween, whatever, I'm still going to be me. And last year was a very me Halloween. It was a very Bobby Halloween, going over my friends, Frankie and Corey's, and just playing Wii Sports, dressed as Crash Bandicoot. And that to me has always been the lasting legacy of Halloween, is that there is still that goofy aspect. To me, I know a lot of people don't think of Halloween as this goofy holiday, but I do. You're getting candy for dressing up like cartoon characters. Like, I don't get it, but that is still how I cling on to Halloween in 2021. That's how I've clung on to it the last few years. It's just kind of this idea of doing somewhat normal things, but dressed as a weird character. Like, and again, it's like a one-day thing. It's not like Christmas where it's like a 2-3 month lead-up, which, I love those, but for Halloween, it's like maybe 2 weeks, maybe. I generally have a few movies that I go to, and that's honestly starting to lose a lot of its appeal, if I'm being honest. Back in 2015, I found myself really diving into Halloween again, and I think it's because it had been so long since I really did it. And then every year since 2015, I'm probably repeating myself, but every year since then, I feel like I've just kind of tried to reinvent that, and it just isn't hitting anymore. It's kind of like a movie you haven't seen in a while, and it's nice to watch, but then if you try to watch it again, it's like, okay, I just saw it, I just got this. Like, I'm still watching the movies that I would normally watch for Halloween. Like, for example, 2015 was the first time I saw the Goosebumps movie, the more modern one, the one with Jack Black, and I really loved it, because I had never seen it, and I was like, this is really cool. It's kind of what I like about Halloween. It still has some horror to it, but it's generally just a funny, kids' family movie. And then, 2016 I watched it again, 2017 I watched it again, and so on. And I still like it. It's still a really good movie, but am I busting down the door to watch Goosebumps for a 5th or 6th time? Not really, but I'll watch it. Same with the other Halloween movies. I'll watch them. I'll make Halloween cookies. I'll put up Halloween lights. I got some black lights in the basement. I don't hate the idea of Halloween, and the thing that kind of does help me as far as keeping that alive is that I do have friends like Frankie and Corey who love Halloween, and they love the horror games and the movies and all that, and I love that. Like, I love that they love it, and I love that other people love it. So, as it comes to that, past years have seen me enjoy Halloween in the context of other people, whether going to their parties or their houses or whatever, and just enjoying it. And that's likely what this Halloween will be, along with, the obligatory trip to Nani's, which I also enjoy, if nothing else, than to see her reaction to my latest costume, because, yes, there will be a costume again this year. I don't go nearly as in depth as I used to with that. I used to even have little teasers for the costumes before they came out. I don't have time. I literally don't have time. As it is, I'm pushing it with Christmas. Obviously Christmas is still going to take center stage, but for those of you who don't know, I got my third job this past month in September. So I'm currently working 3 part-time jobs, which sometimes can be really stressful. Sometimes, actually, it's not that much of a change. So, long story short, as much as I try to squeeze Halloween in, and I think I'm doing it to some degree, as much as I try to squeeze Halloween in, it can't happen. And that's nothing against Halloween. That's a me thing. There's so many things every year, every month that I want to do, and I get to maybe half of them or 60% of them, and then the rest of them I kind of just had to put off till next month, or in this case next year. And that's just how it is. And with Halloween, there's not that same urgency, especially when November 1st literally kicks off the Christmas season for me. I can't be, doing a huge Bobby production style Halloween and then immediately flip it to Christmas, unless I had no jobs, but then I would have no money and none of this would happen anyway. So it is what it is. I still really love Halloween, at my core. I still like to post the old videos about it. I've always said that Halloween is more about the videos at this point than the real experience. I know that kind of sounds depressing, but it actually isn't. So I hope that you've all enjoyed my Halloween videos in the past. There'll be at least a couple more for this year. And yeah, that's it. So feel free to post your comments below, what you thought of last Halloween, what you're looking forward to for this Halloween, and I will talk to you all soon. Halloween 2021.